y vamos a hacer otra grabación por cámara para que otros estudiantes que están ausentes pueden ver y escuchar la conferencia que doy hoy durante la clase. El nuevo tópico es mandatos negativos informales. Just like yesterday, we want to make sure we know what this title means. We're dealing with commands. These are things that we tell other people to do, but these are negative. So these are things that we're going to tell people not to do. You don't look like you're ready to take notes. You need to be ready to take Cornell notes. And the word informal tells us what? What does the word informal tell us? Younger people or people that we can be are members of our family. We can be casual with. All right. So that's who we're talking to today. And that's what we're doing with this. Can't find my arrow. There it is. Okay. So we're talking about informal negative commands. These commands are formed differently than the ones that we learned yesterday. Informal affirmative commands have a two-step process. You start with the to form of the present indicative and drop the S. The negative commands have a three-step process. So make sure you get this into your notes. To form an informal negative command, you will start with the yo form of the present indicative. You'll start with the yo form of the present indicative. The second step is to drop the O. And the third step is to add the opposite to form ending. Now what we mean when we say the opposite to form ending is that an AR verb will add ES, or an ER or IR verb will add AS. Okay? That's what we mean when we say the opposite to form ending. Now this is the first time that we come into contact with a tense where we're going to flip-flop the endings. All along, AR verbs had A's in their endings. And ER verbs and IR verbs had E's or I's in their endings. But now, for the first time, we're going to switch it up. And that's why it's so important for you to get this in your notes. So again, three-step process. For forming informal negative commands, you start with the yo form of the present indicative, you drop the O, and then you add the opposite to form ending. So if it's an AR verb, it will take ES. If it's an ER or IR verb, it will take AS. All right. Now, I'll bet you on the next slide, we're going to see some examples, right? Because that's normally what we do. Let me know when you're ready to have me move to that next slide so we can do an example. Okay, are you ready? Be thinking about what will happen, let's say, to the verb hablar. I don't know what it is on the sample slide because I didn't look at this today. I can't remember what the sample verb is, but think about the verb hablar. What's the yo form of hablar? Hablo. So take off the O. What are you left with? Habl. H-A-B-L, right? And then it says add the opposite to form ending. Since it's an AR verb, we will add hables. But then it's negative, so what do we have to put in front of it? No. So the negative command will be? No hables. No hables. Let's see if that's the way it turns out. Okay? Can I change the slide? Yeah. Yes. Okay. So, it's not hablar. It's fumar. All right. Fumar. Almost. Because you're missing a word in front of There you go. All right, so fumar, what's the yo form of fumar? Como. And what, if we drop the O, what are we left with? Fum. And then if we add the opposite to form ending, what do we get? Fumes. So the negative command will be no fumes, Paco, no fumes esos cigarrillos electrónicos. Yeah, Paco. No fumes esos cigarrillos electrónicos. Okay, don't smoke those e-cigarettes. All right. So what's important though is fumar, fumo, fume, and fumes. All right. Now let's see what's coming up next. Here's another example. Salir. Think about salir. Okay. I want you to think about it, and then I'll show you the steps. What's the yo form of salir in the present indicative? It's not salo. Salgo. Correct. It is salgo. So if we drop the O, what are we left with? Sal. Add the opposite to form ending. Salgas. Elena, no salgas ahora. Espera 10 minutos más. Elena, don't leave now. Wait 10 more minutes. This is the negative command, no salgas. Here's an affirmative command. Espera, wait. Wait 10 more minutes. All right, so here we've seen two examples of that process. We start with the yo form of the present indicative. We drop the O, and then we add the opposite to form ending. Those are your steps. Now the reason we do it this way is because if we start with the yo form of the present indicative, we're going to catch 95% of the verbs that are irregular. Because if a verb is irregular, its irregularity usually shows up in the yo form of that verb. So if we follow this pattern faithfully, 95% of the time we're going to end up with the right form. Okay? Let's see what the next slide says. Here's a summary of model verbs. So for hablar, it's no hables. And for comer, it's no comas. And for repetir, which is, remember, a stem changer, E to I, no repitas. A summary of model verbs. Thank you. No, this is just no, it's not a summary of everything that's in the presentation. All right, so this shows you what happens with a regular AR verb, a regular ER verb, and a stem changing IR verb, but the stem change is incidental to what happens with the ending. Okay? Do we have all of that down?
No.
Okay. Now, again, this isn't hard. Just like what we did yesterday wasn't difficult. The difficult part is remembering which system goes with which kind of command. The affirmative command has 2 steps, and the negative command has 3 steps. Okay, he wants that back, I'm pretty sure. Okay. All right. All right. We ready to go? All right. So, as you might guess, there are some irregular informal negative commands. Now, just like the Vin Diesel verbs, we memorize them you know, and we've got them down. Some of these, ser and ear, these two, are also Vin Diesel verbs, but the other three are not. So you need to copy this chart down. The infinitive is ear. The command is no vayas. The meaning is don't go, no vayas. Okay, so why aren't you jotting things down? What? Dar, no des, don't give. No me des problemas, don't give me problems. Estar, no estés, don't be. No estés tarde, don't be late. Ser, no seas estúpido, don't be stupid. Saber, no sepas, don't know. Now, I'm not sure that I would ever give this command. I really want you to know everything. So I'm not sure I would say don't know. But I want you to know that that's an irregular, informal negative command. So there are only 5 of them. So that's pretty cool. Right? That's pretty cool. There's only 5 of them. Now we have another special kind of verb to talk about when we talk about negative informal commands. We talked about this same kind of verb when we were learning the yo form of the preterite. We talked about this same kind of verb when we were learning about the yo form of the preterite. Now I can't change the slide yet because I still have several citizens copying down this chart. Because this is an important chart. I don't want you to miss anything from this chart. Okay? But I want you brainiacs out there who already finished copying things down to think back to when we had a problem in the yo form of the preterite and what we did about our problem. Think about it. We're going to talk about it together in just a minute. All right, I'm going to change the slide and tell you what kind of verbs they are. Maybe that will spark your memory. They're Kargar and Sar verbs. And Trent is back there celebrating because Trent remembered why we had to talk about Kargar and Sar verbs. So, you said you didn't understand it when we did it in the preterite. When you did it in the preterite, is that right? So let's take a little time out here and let's talk about what's going on with Kargar and Sar verbs. Why they're a problem for us. Okay? Here's why. The letter C is soft, like the letter S, when it comes before the letters E or I. And C is hard, like a K, when before an A, an O, or a U. Okay? Now that same principle is true with the letter G. G is soft, like an H, when before E or I. And G is hard, like a G, when before A, O, or U. Now with the letter Z, it's a little harder for me to explain because my pronunciation comes from Latin America. But in Spain, the letter Z has the same situation. I'm going to ask you to just trust me on this one, okay? Because my pronunciation is not the same as the pronunciation in Spain. Mine's from Latin America. But I want you to trust me. This is why. So let's look at a car verb. Like we have buscar in this lesson. B-U-S-C-A-R. Buscar. This is a hard C because it comes before the letter A, right? Yeah. So let's follow our rules for conjugating an informal negative command for the verb buscar. What's our first step? Yo form of the present indicative. So that would be busco. And then we do what? Drop the O. So now we've got busk. And then we add the opposite to form ending, because it's an AR verb, we'll add what? ES, right? Do I have busques? No, I don't, because that C is now soft. This is buses. Buses. And it doesn't sound anything like buscar. So in order to keep it sounding like it should, we're going to change the spelling. And that's what we're about to learn on this next slide. All right, we're going to change the spelling. So, car and SAR verbs have the following spelling changes in their informal negative command forms. A car verb will change the C to QU. So, tocar becomes no toques. Buscar becomes no busques. Secar becomes no seques. We're going to change the C to QU. All right, this is just what the same thing you did in the yo form of the preterite tense for AR verbs. Gar verbs will change the G to GU. So llegar becomes no llegues. Don't arrive. Don't arrive. Pagar, no pagues, don't pay. No pagues con dinero en efectivo. Don't pay with cash. No pagues. And a SAR verb, the Z will change to C. Empezar. No empieces. No empieces. Okay? This is a stem changer too. So this is the rule you need to have in your notes. This is the why of the rule. For those of you who never understood it before. Now you understand why we're doing that. Because we want to preserve the way the verb sounds. We want the verb forms to sound like they're infinitives. So we're going to preserve that sound system this way. All right. Now the next thing we need to consider is what to do when we have an object pronoun with the command. Remember, when the command was affirmative, we attached that command right to the end, or excuse me, that pronoun right to the end of the affirmative command. Remember that? That's not what we're going to do. Negatives. Tell your partner what you think we're going to do with the negatives. If these were reflexive verbs, where would you put that reflexive pronoun? Tell your partner what you think. Predict it. Let's see if your prediction is true. With negative commands, place the pronoun between the no and the verb form. You're going to put it right in front of that conjugated form. So put it between the no and the, why aren't you writing this down? Some of you have quit taking notes. Some of you have quit. You can't quit. That's why you get things wrong on quizzes and tests and homework. Because you quit. Come on, supera. You're going to put the pronoun between the no and the verb form. So here's an example. Paco, no comas el sandwich. Paco, don't eat the sandwich. What is it that we don't want Paco to eat? The sandwich. Now this is a direct object, not a reflexive, but this is a direct object. So is it masculine or feminine? Is el sandwich masculine or feminine? Masculine. Is it singular or plural? Singular. It's masculine and singular. So we need the direct object pronoun that we will replace a masculine, singular direct object. What will that pronoun be? Lo. Very good. It's lo. So we're going to replace el sandwich with lo. And now we're going to say, Paco, don't eat it. Okay, you ready? Everybody ready? We're going to replace el sandwich with lo, we just said. And then we're going to place it between no and the verb. Are you ready to say, Paco, don't eat it? You ready? Here we go. Uno, dos, tres. Paco. Paco, no lo comas. No lo comas. Don't eat it. Repitan, por favor, no lo comas.
No lo comas.
No lo comas.
No lo comas.
All right. Elena, no tienes que levantarte temprano. Elena, you don't have to get up early. Now make it a command that says, Elena, don't get up early. Change it, transform it. This one says, Elena, you don't have to get up early. Now you're going to write a sentence that says, Elena, don't get up early. Elena, don't get up early. This is reflexive, right? This is a reflexive verb. Where can you find the pronoun that you need?
On the end.
It's right there. It's right there already. It's right there. There's a pronoun that you need. How many words do you need to say this?
3.
5.
5.
You need Elena, her name, and then don't get up early. You need 5 words total. Elena being one of them. Elena being one of them. Do you need any form of TNSK in there? No. TNSK comes right out of it. You're going to change the conjugation of levantarte. In our example, levantarte is not conjugated because it comes after TNSK. But we're going to drop TNSK out of there. And we're going to say, don't get up early. What's the first word? Clase? Elena. What's the next word?
No.
No. What's the next word?
Te.
Te. What's the next word?
Levantas.
Levantes. Right? It's levantar, so it will be levantes. And what's the last word?
Temprano.
Temprano. Elena, no te levantes temprano. Elena, no te levantes temprano. All right. So let's get some practice. I'm going to give you some sentences, 6 sentences in English that use the verbs from this lesson, and I want you to try to translate them to Spanish. Here you go. 6 sentences that I want you to translate. You're using informal negative commands, and you're using of the verbs that are from this lesson. Yes, sir. Are there? Oh, I sure did, didn't I? What a silly girl I am. 1 and 1. There are 7 of them. You go. Good job. You have room. Find room. Find another sheet of paper. You have room. Don't give me sass. No me des tonterías. No me des tonterías. No me hables mal. No te quejes de tanto. if you finish before everyone else finishes, you can get out your packet and start looking at activities 29 through 32, indicating in your exercise packet that those are the ones that you need to do for homework tonight. We're going to get there in just a couple minutes. We're going to look at them together, make sure that you understand what it is you need to do in each section. But you can go ahead and, if you're finished translating already, you can go ahead and get your packet out and start looking at those. Okay, how can you be finished translating if you haven't written them down yet? Okay, you don't just get the packet out and start working on the packet. You're trying to translate first. If you haven't tried these first, you won't do well on your homework. Okay, one more minute to do these translation sentences, and then we're going to talk about them together. Okay, not cool to just copy them down in English and wait for the rest of the class to give you the answers. You need to try on your own, based on what you learned in class today. How many words do you need to do number one? The first number one. 5. 5 words. What's the first one? Paco. Second word. No. Third word. This one's not reflexive. That's not the next word. What do you think it is, Trent? It's whatever hacer is. What's the yo form of hacer in the present tense? Hago. H-A-G-O. So this is Paco, no hagas ejercicio ahora. Paco, no hagas ejercicio ahora. Paco, no hagas ejercicio ahora. Elena, don't eat so much. How many words do you need? 4. What's the first one? Elena. No, and then the other 3. No comas tanto. I hit the button. I didn't mean to. Elena, no comas tanto. Don't eat so much. Juan, don't be bored. How many words do you need?
4.
You need 4 words. What's the first one? Juan. What's the second one? No. What's the next one? What verb do you need? What infinitive do you need to say don't be bored? It's not ser. It is estar. No estés, and now bored. What is it? Aburrido. Juan, no estés aburrido. Ana, don't go to bed late. How many words do you need? 5. What's the first one? Ana. Next one. No. Next one. Not may, but te. Next one. Acuestes. And the last word. Tarde. Ana, no te acuestes tarde. Pablo, don't do yoga in class. I need 6 words to say that. Say Pablo.
Pablo.
Pablo. Next word.
No.
Next word.
As.
Agas. Next word.
Yoga.
Yoga. Last 2 words.
Class.
En clase. Pablo, no hagas yoga en clase. Ernesto, don't be lazy. Ernesto, no. Not a Stace, because this one is Sarah. No seas perezoso. And the last one, Susana, don't sleep here. Susana, no duermas aquí. No duermas aquí. Now, let's look at your packet to make sure that you know what you're supposed to do for activities 29 through 32. With 29 through 32, you are working with commands, and you're working both affirmative and negative. You're also working with commands with object pronouns. So the notes that we've taken over the last 2 days are extremely important for helping you do well on your homework. Activity 29. The directions say, these people don't take good care of their health. Write an informal affirmative command. So in 29, you're using informal affirmative commands. Please stop talking. Informal affirmative command to tell each one, don't know, what he or she should do. You're using informal affirmative commands in 29. 30 says, use the cues and negative informal commands to tell your younger sister what not to do. 31, your friend Rosario always feels bad. Read what's the matter with her and give her advice. It could be affirmative or negative. And then 32, your little brother does a lot of bad things, things that are bad for his health. Use informal negative commands to tell him what he shouldn't do. Okay, so that last one, you can tell by the directions, informal negative commands. Okay, hasta mañana. When did you think I assigned that? Yesterday? Oh, okay, so now you're all set. Now you go back and redo it for me, okay? All right.